Greetings, Inquisitor. Glad you found this holocron. This is the week 43 update for the Darth Loquitur account. For any who aren't familiar, I'll go through the entire week of progress on my account, all the new characters I've added, gear tiers that I've gotten on my characters. Then at the end, we'll sum up the stats for the account and talk a little bit about what's coming ahead for the next few weeks. So let's get in there and let's find out what happened on this account for the week. First things first, we're really looking to get a relic on Emperor Palpatine, but we didn't make too much progress over the course of the week. We did manage to gather up some other gear just from raids and other things, so we're trying to get some more gear tiers over here on Thrawn. He's one of the characters that I feel like if we had him at a little higher level, it would help us in Grand Arena, so I'm looking to push him ahead. Unfortunately, this stun gun is needed by a lot of different characters, and Darth Maul is most likely the next character that I will gear 12 and relic, so I don't want to put that stun gun onto Thrawn just quite yet. Krennic is another requirement for the Sith Eternal Emperor journey. We do have to get him up and running. We've been farming him, 76 out of 100 shards, so not too much to go. It's time to get him up and running and to start working on his gear. Now, here I'm stuck, and I can see that these both have green pluses on them, so it's kind of confusing for a second, and then I figure out that they must share at least one piece of the same gear. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to craft one of them so that I can see on the other one what's missing, and it's this Mark III Blast Tech weapon mod. First things first, let's run over to the guild and make sure that we make a request on this, and for the next few days we'll go ahead and make requests on those weapon mods, try to stock them up so that all the other characters don't get stuck there too. We also bring up Darth Sidious this week. Same thing, we've been buying him passively out of the Squad Arena store. We've been doing one instance of prestige every day and then when we get a chance we've been buying Darth Sidious, and he's all 330 of his shards have been purchased, so let's get him up and running as well. Very quickly runs into that same limitation on the Mark III weapon mod. So we're just going to have to wait for a few of those. Maybe we'll have to farm them. We'll see. But we'll try to take care of that with guild requests so that we can keep our farming focused on those relic materials. Here we want to upgrade Vander Chewbacca. But again, even though he's upgradable, and Jolie Bindo as well, we don't want to use up the gear that's going to take Maul or Thrawn to their next level. Mon Mothma's on a very greedy tier. She needs 2 stun guns at this level. So there's just a whole lot of our characters that are locked out on stun guns or other rare gear that we need specifically for our Sith Eternal journey. So we have to kind of hold off on clicking the upgrade button, even though a bunch of these characters would be good to go ahead and take them up if I could. All right, the Imperial TIE Bomber is another requirement for the Sith Eternal Emperor. We farmed that up to 6 stars. We were holding off on that for a while because we didn't want the extra galactic power from this ship in the account. But now that we've hit Division 9 and galactic power is really irrelevant for quite some time, and we have to do this anyway before we can get our Sith Eternal Emperor, we're going to go ahead and unlock it, build it, and start leveling up the skills and go ahead and make this ship useful at this point in the game. Now it is going to take up quite a bit of galactic power, but that's okay. It's going to be a functional ship for us, and again, it's required for C. We are going to invest the ship Omega materials and take that skill all the way up to level 8. For this special skill, we're going to do the same again and make sure that we take that all the way up. Now the basic we are not. We're going to stop at tier 7, and we're not going to invest the Omega materials there. We're going to keep those in the bank in case another ship needs work or there's something else that we decide to use them on. So we just keep them in the bank. Now we look at the reinforcement ability. I've only got 140 of these materials, so I'm not going to be able to take it up all the way to tier 3. So I just leave it alone for now. Maybe if we start using it as a reinforcement heavily and feel like we need that reinforcement ability, then we'll invest in it at that time. But for right now, again, we're just going to sit on those materials and hold off. In the character tab, it feels like there should be more progress this week, and I keep coming back and looking at this tab and looking at all the green pluses and thinking, man, there's got to be a few more things that I can click. But at the end of the day, I really don't want to have to keep the focus on my Galactic Legend. This Omega does give us enemies damage reduced by 25% when he's buffed, which he'll often have prepared with the way his mechanics work on his skills. All right, after getting some of those Mark III weapon mods from the guild, we're able to take Krennic up a couple gear tiers, and Sidious is also freed up now. We can get his gear going as well. And now they're stuck again, and I believe they're still stuck on the same weapon tech mod, so we're just going to have to keep making requests of that out of our guild and build that up over time. I guess we did make another request, and this was the next day, and you can see each time we each time we get a set of those, we get a bunch of gear tiers out of it. Got him all the way up to gear level 9. Then we're leveling up his skills. Again, we're saving on the Omega materials. I'm thinking about investing in that. Eventually, when you get Sith Eternal, you have to use this Sidious in the first bit of the event. And you need good mods on him, potentially need the Zeta. I don't know if my mods are going to be good enough on this account for me to be able to get by without putting the Zeta on him, but certainly we're going to try that first, see if we can make that work. We're going to mod him with mods that have speed, but kind of a secondary kind of speed. So these things that are 7, 8, 9 speed, that are not good enough to put on a real good character, but good enough to put on a character that just needs to have some mods. So we'll put an offense set on him, and then we'll look around here and try to figure out, again, with these 8 and 12 speed mods, something like that. I found a 5 speed mod there. So it's good, but not too good. It'll allow me to put something on Sidious for now. And eventually we may speed him up if we put together a Maul team to steal banners in Grand Arena. Sidious typically will need to be a little bit faster. For anybody who's not familiar with that, what you do, Darth Maul gives all of your Sith plus 20% turn meter. And if you put something like Sidious at about 280, people may not see that they've got that speed boost, and he's acting at about 335. And again, you don't expect him to win, but he does his area effect first. And if they think they're going to go first and he comes across and hits everybody and steals some banners, then that team's job is totally done. You can beat it, but you need to lose 3 banners to do it. I'm happy. Can't get a highly efficient win. Or in 5v5, I mean, you could potentially lose up to 5 banners if you came in that strong against it. All right, Krennic, the same thing. We originally were looking maybe to even put a damage set on him, make him a damage dealer, because even though he's not a great damage dealer, at low galactic power, anybody with a relic on hits pretty hard, and Krennic's leadership does give some boosts to crit chance, I believe. So it would be a way to make him, moderately useful, maybe. But in the end, we just pick a speed set, a crit chance set. Good enough for now. We're not going to put great mods on him. But now those characters, the Sidious and the Krennic, at least we can use them in some way in the Grand Arena in this upcoming week. Here we get Krennic to his gear 8 finally. All right, so let's check in on the account stats. Week 43, 1.7 million galactic power, 50,000 additional since last week. Most of that was in that TIE bomber that we built and the other characters that we brought into the account, of course. 11 relics still, 21 Zetas. Still using the troopers to get into the top 100. For the fleet arena, we were using the geos mostly this last week or so. I've really had to use the negotiator more. And project is still for the Gear 13 on Emperor Palpatine by week 45. And I do plan to just leave him at Relic 0 for now and bring him back up to full Relic when all the other requirements are done and we're ready to get the Sith Eternal Emperor. Next week, this looks exactly the same as the prior week, no changes. We got Krennic, Mon Mothma, the Armorer, BTLB that we're working on from the regular energy. We're farming stun guns and relic stuff. Fleet, we're doing Scion, Bindos, Albar. And then relic materials as well as some Mark III hollow projectors. Again, we need those hollow projectors to break down for materials at the scavenger to build the relics. So we don't want to fall too far behind. We're relic, putting some of these characters at Relic 0. But we still have to farm up the signal data and the scavenger materials. Speed mods again next week. I'm sorry, Cantina, we're working on signal data, still taking Sith Emperor, Empire Trooper. Mods, speed, refresh, same as last week. Squad Arena, still getting prestige. We're done with Sidious though, so I suppose we could take that off the list now. In the fleet store, we're still looking for Grievous and any 501st. And Zeta materials when we get enough in the bank. Everything else feeds the shard shop for the materials that I buy out of there for relics. Week 2 of the matchups in Division 9, significantly harder than Week 1. The whole pot of 8 was 2.1 million galactic power or higher, which is, on average 500,000 or higher above my account. The matchups were relatively fair. The relics were about the same. In most cases, I did still hold a fleet advantage, and the extra galactic power that my opponents had was usually more in having the better fill teams and, some more stuff in the middle. So that means they're able to place more decent defenses than I am. My defenses, if they're not part of the siege journey, are pretty low in terms of their challenge level to my opponents. But so far, it's holding up. I'm pushing through and doing fairly well in the account. We've got 4 wins and 1 loss for sure. I think this last battle is going to be a win as well. So hopefully we'll be 5-1 at the end of the week. But I don't think it was too bad of a choice to push up to Division 9. Just letting you guys know. So in the future, if other people want to make this choice on whether to stay in their prior division or go ahead and push up into the bottom of the next division, I'll kind of document that and you can see how that plays out. That's all I have for this week. Remember to farm your mods. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Join us over there. We've got a great community. I'd love to see you over there. I'd love to be able to answer your questions and help you out. Subscribe to the channel. Use the notification bell to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next Holocron.